Dang, yo, you breathe. It's a heavy deep breath.
Yo.
That's a heavy deep breath.
Yo, it's just us two now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, boo, boo, bring back the guests.
Why is just you guys?
Boring. Boring.
I know. We're so just.
But I mean, we didn't even talk about it in the episodes, but we extended the stew a little bit. The studio. Got the little double couches going on for the guests. Yeah, we got the center camera.
They haven't seen it in a while.
They haven't seen that in a while. We'll see. But yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back
everybody.
to the In the Fire with just Louis and Danny.
Oh my gosh. We appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube. We love you so much. And just welcome back. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
And
to the In the Fire podcast.
Most importantly, check out the Patreon.
Check out the Patreon.
Awesome Discord community where we connect with you guys, pray with you guys, have a fire groups. Fire groups are going to be fire. No pun intended. But
100% pun intended.
Yeah, 100% pun intended. It's going to be a great time. We connect. Awesome fellowship. You don't want to miss out. Check it out. If you guys enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment. All of that blesses us.
Bless it up.
Yeah, blesses up. Sure. And blesses us. Blesses up and blesses us. No? All right. I'm trying to be a rapper. Maybe one day.
Dude, you won't be Nico, okay?
I can do it.
No.
One day I'll make a song.
Okay.
And Drake's gonna invite me to his house. Yeah.
Drake, huh?
And I'm gonna evangelize to him.
Oh, you evangelize to him?
And he's gonna accept Jesus.
How you gonna do it?
I'm gonna say, listen, man. He's gonna say, how can I be like you? And
he's never gonna say that.
And I'm gonna say, listen, Drake, it's not about me, it's about Jesus. And he's gonna be like, oh, really? And I'm gonna be like, yeah. Oh, and then he's gonna pass me Bad Bunny's number. I'm gonna hit him up too, be like, yo.
I feel like you and Bad Bunny have
some beef.
War, yeah.
Nah, no war. It's all peace here with Jesus, you know. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
What if he like watches like some of these episodes and he's just like, ¿Quién está man hablando?
Well, Bad Bunny, if you're watching this,
Jesus is good.
Jesus is a fantastic person. Yeah, Jesus is awesome.
He's awesome.
Anyways, today we did.
How do we evangelize to rappers?
No.
No,
wrong episode, buddy. Wrong episode. That's like next week or something.
My fault.
But today we're pretty much summing up the last few episodes that we have uploaded. Living counter-culturally.
Beautiful.
What does that look like? What does that look like in our culture today? What does that look like in our generation?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes connected to everything we've talked about previously in other episodes. Yeah, so make sure you guys check
out the last 3 episodes.
Fire. Yes, those are amazing. Amazing. But yeah,
counterculturally, why is it important? Why does it matter? Well, first off, Jesus was countercultural, right? He came on the earth. What was in like he said, like, you know, it is written, love your friends, hate your enemies, but I say love your enemies and do good to those who harm you.
Bro, everybody in the audience like, what?
Like, what? I tell you, they were like, bro, what
is this guy talking about?
Yeah, and like that in of itself is just countercultural. Nobody has thought about that. Everybody wants to do harm. Nobody wants to do good to people that do harm to them. That's just like nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
But that's countercultural. And so that's just one example, right? And Jesus was fully 100% countercultural. And as Christians, like, being countercultural is like a given. Like, it's just, bro, like you're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be part of the world. And it's just gonna be part of the Christian life. It's just being not a part of the world, I would say, you know?
No, absolutely. I think it's kind of crazy that even during Jesus's time, you know, he was calling them to be countercultural.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about a now time. You know, a lot of people, okay, the world is looking really dark right now, but the world has been dark forever, ever since sin came in. Like,
Word.
You know, there's just stuff where it's like, because of sin and because of our flesh and the enemy's, you know, idea and strategy here, we are constantly called to be countercultural.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, it's crazy that Jesus during his time, which was over 2,000 years ago had to still be countercultural, and he's telling us to do the same thing. And you know, like I just mentioned, because the world is run by evil, everything that the world wants us to do is literally the opposite of what Jesus calls us to do in every sense.
And thinking it back to our like other episodes when we talked about like the whole lack of boundaries, you know, the culture has that, a lack of boundaries. Like the culture says, like, if you want to be with that person, you want to go do it. If you want to have sex with them, go for it. You know, like, you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
Go do that. Go do this. Go drink. Like everything, you know. And there's no boundaries. There's no parameters with the culture. That's why everybody, you know, they loves it. They love it because it feeds into our sinful nature. Our sinful nature doesn't want there to be boundaries. Our sinful nature, it does what it craves. That's all it wants. It does what it wants. And so the culture, it reinforces that. You know, it's like, do it. Go for it. Go do what you want to do. You want to go sleep with that person? Do it. Like, who cares?
Right.
And so the culture encourages our sinful nature to work at its best.
Wow.
And so that's why we have to be counterculture, because like we said, what was that sermon from Pastor Phil? It's like, there's our flesh, you know, crucify ourself, our flesh, and then the world, right? Like ourselves, our own desires, our passions, and then crucify the world from influencing us and telling us to do certain things, and the influence of how, like, crucify that. You know, kill it, kill that, kill our flesh, kill our sinful nature, kill our desires, and also kill the world. Not wait.
Yo,
I meant crucify the world. That's not crazy. That's not my crazy,
bro.
That's not crazy. That's not
like
crazy.
you didn't even finish the phrase, and you went.
Yeah.
But then you still finished it. It's like, all right, oops.
I had to say it, huh? I just knew it. It's gonna sound bad.
No, that's crazy. I can't believe you just said that. Everybody clip that.
Yo, everyone was like, what?
Wait.
All right, never mind that.
Don't listen
But
to that one.
Forget that little part.
No,
But
yeah.
as I was saying, the culture reinforces that the sinful desire to do whatever we want.
Right. Yeah. It just threw me off. I don't know what to say after that. I'm just speechless.
Sorry for throwing everybody off, yo. That was very wild.
No, but I think it's super awesome that you brought up the boundaries thing. I think that's a really cool way to put it, is the fact that the world doesn't want us to have boundaries. The world wants us to be quote unquote free. It's like, okay, so if I'm boundaryless, I can do whatever I want, whatever I desire. That's what it looks like to be boundaryless. But then the world tells us that's what's gonna make you feel alive. But we know as Christians that it's the exact opposite. It's gonna put us in spiritual death, which is super scary. And so that goes off of the spiritual blindness that we've talked about. You know, a common theme in the last three episodes is that spiritual blindness. That blindness of not seeing actually how the world works. The blindness of having those false truths and believing them as truths in us. And so it's like the world will consistently tell you how to live and what to do. And it's like, okay, look, you can do whatever you want. Don't worry. It's pleasing. It's awesome. You're going to feel so great. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. You're going to get this. Oh, wait. Why do I feel like this? Why am I struggling to have good, meaningful, genuine friendships? Why is my family stuff falling apart? Why is my life falling apart? Why do I feel like I don't have direction? Why do I feel like... And so the world consistently picks at your purpose, at your calling, at your at who you are, your identity. The world tells you, I can give you identity, but what it does is take it away from you. And so that's why it's so important for us as followers of Jesus to live counterculturally. And what that means is to live, to put our sinful desires to death. Is to say, okay, this is what I want to do, but what does Jesus tell me to do? I don't care what this person tells me to do, what the world tries to convince me to do. Like, no. I'm not spiritually blind. I see what's going on. I see the enemy behind this. I'm going to do the complete opposite.
Wow.
I'm going to do what Jesus tells me to do, even if it sucks, even if it doesn't feel great in the moment, even if I'm getting mocked and made fun of. This is how I'm going to move. This is how I'm going to move.
Wow.
And that's hard.
That's hard. Yeah, and I like what you said there about like why am I carrying all this weight? Why am I carrying all this hurt? I thought this would help me. I thought the clothes would help me. I thought the relationship would help me. But now I'm left feeling worse. And so it's like, you know, we think that going to the world will give us what we need, but then we leave worse, right? And something I wanted to ask too, which I just got the question right now, is who's your shepherd, right? Because we talk about being counterculture, right? Countercultural. Don't you want to question how you're being led? Because the truth is, we're being led by so many different things. Like I said, the culture, the people around us, parents, people, role models that we look up to. Every day we're being led, right? But don't you want to question who is leading you? Is the culture leading you, or is Jesus leading you, and which one is more trustworthy?
Wow.
Right, like I said before, the culture just does what it wants, and it's no boundaries or whatever. And do you want to trust in that?
Yeah.
Right. It's like who is your shepherd? Like that's really, I think a lot of people got to ask themselves that, because we are being led every day. So question who is leading you.
Who's leading you? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think what makes it hard, especially for me, is the other people. I think because them consistently maybe making fun of you.
Oh yeah, I was about to say
making fun of you, telling you like, bro, like, I don't know, and not seeing the results that you wish you wanted in the moment. It's kind of like maybe they were right.
Yeah.
Maybe this wasn't the time to be Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe I forgave them too fast, or maybe this, or maybe that, and you start doubting the teachings of Jesus because everybody else kind of convinced you otherwise, and then your situation doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to. And then you start to go, maybe this wasn't the right move. And what I just got reminded of is the disciples when Jesus came and they realized he wasn't here to take down the Roman Empire like they wanted him to do. And they were like, wait, I did all this stuff for Jesus, or the stuff Jesus told me to do, but I'm not seeing the results. Imagine how they felt when he died. Where it was like
person they put their whole trust in, letting him lead them, just dies.
And they're like, wait, the Roman Empire's still here. We're still slaves to them.
They're still oppressing
Nothing
us.
Changed in a sense. Because like,
interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine how they felt in that moment where it's like, yo, all this and nothing? What was the purpose of all that? Why did I let people disrespect me and spit on me and mock me and make fun of me for the way I was acting?
Why did I miss out on all those fun times? Like, what's the reason?
Nope. And then to see him and just die, it's like, whoa, what happened here? Why was I living counterculturally this whole time? Why didn't I just do the things that I wanted to do if this is how it was going to turn out? I think that's what makes it so hard.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the ways that Jesus and God work is not instant.
It's not.
It's like a long-term play. Like, the world is very instantaneous. Like, all right, I can give you this. I can give you that. I can give you this. And then God's like, the things that I want to give you are, first of all, 1,000,000 times better, but they'll take a little bit of time.
Nobody likes that, and that's why the culture in the world is so appealing, and it's so like I want it because it gives it to you like that. Yeah, you want it, like, we'll give it to you. But God's like, it'll take some time, but it's way more worth it. But we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait.
Yeah,
that's really good.
But and so, what does it look like for us to live counterculturally? And I think the first thing is, and what we talked about is the fact that we need to put up those boundaries again.
Yeah.
We need to realize that, okay, me being boundaryless is a horrible idea. Me not having those boundaries and those guardrails to protect me from falling off this cliff is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I don't care how good of a driver you are. If you're going up a hill and you're going really fast and there's no guardrails, like, you're falling off the cliff. It's just how it goes. And so God puts those guardrails for a reason. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to stop taking down these guardrails that God has placed in my life. God is saying, don't do this, do this. Okay, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start reading his word to understand what those guardrails are. Because that is what living a life with boundaries looks like, is understanding what boundaries you're going to place.
But boundaries look like, all we see when we see boundaries is, I can't go over there. It's not like, oh, it's there to protect me. No, all we see is, I can't go over there, but I want to because I can't. Every time we can't do something or we're not supposed to do something, we want to do it. So that's all we see. But like in reality, boundaries are for us. God's love for us.
Yeah.
Those are what boundaries are. And also what we were saying, I wanted to say too before that was I feel like every Christian is going to relate to that, bro, of what you were saying before. Just like this like, you know, I have to not be part of the world anymore, but it's difficult. And also like people just, like you said, just making fun of me or me missing out. I feel like I'm missing out, which is the enemy's like one lie that he wants you to believe is that you're going to miss out on things. If you're a believer and you're walking with Jesus, the one lie he wants you to believe is that you're going to miss out. You're not missing out on anything. Of course, in the moment, it does look like you're missing out on things, but it's nothing. Remember, like, and like that's like it's like an investment, you know. With God, it's like, trust me, you will get what He wants you to give.
I love that.
It's like He's gonna give it to you. What you need. He knows what you need more than anybody else, more than your family, your friends, and that one best friend that you trust in so much. He knows more than that best friend. So if He knows more, He's gonna give you what you need. So it's
crazy.
It's like a trust thing. Do you trust that or do you trust Him? And again, it's easier than it sounds. It's way more easier than it sounds.
Yeah, I like the word that you use, investment.
Yeah,
that's good, because investment grows over time. It's not like an instant purchase, and it's like, okay, now it's depreciating in value. Which is what the world gives you. The world says, "Here's a Gucci bag," and you're like, "Whoa, Gucci bag!" 1 year later, it's worth not as much.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And but with God, it's an investment. It's you consistently growing, you consistently getting better. The things around you consistently getting better. You feeling better. You being filled with more joy, and as you walk with God, more peace as you walk with God. All of a sudden, you're handling situations so much better. All of a sudden, you feel like you're so much farther ahead than the people around you in life. And it's like, wait,
we're just mature.
Maturity. I mean, in that sense too, especially, it's like, what happened here? Maybe it's because you initially invested earlier on. And so now you're just like, whoa, okay, God, I see what you meant when you said I shouldn't have done that.
He opens your eyes too. Like I think the most beautiful thing too is like when He opens your eyes and you're just like, wait, why am I doing this? Like I see where I was lacking. I see where I was blinded, and now I can see. I think that's the most beautiful moment. And when God opens your eyes and he lets you see, and you're just like, why was I craving that? Why was I? Oh, this was why. Because I wanted to be loved. So that's why I was doing that stuff. That's why I was with them. That shows you that stuff.
And not to mention that for you to live counterculturally and do it consistently. Because this is a daily battle, by the way. This isn't like a few time decisions, then you're good to go. Like, this is for the rest of your life. You're going to have to live counterculturally. I don't see the culture, and this is not to be discouraging, but I don't see the culture getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world will continue to push its agenda. Like, the enemy will continue to fight. Like, he's not going to disappear.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? He's not just going to be like, all right, bet, like, I couldn't do it. Dang it. I couldn't beat Lewis. I couldn't, like, get to him. I'm just going to give up. Like, no, life is a consistent battle, which is why we're told to carry our cross daily. And so it's like, okay, so now we have a consistent battle. And so we need to always be aware and alert every day that we're living, because their culture will continuously try to convince you to go to the world and do what the world wants you to do. Why are you thinking so much? Man's like having a revelation mid-episode.
No, because like what you said, like the world's going to keep on pushing its agenda, and it's only going to get, I would say, because of the enemy wants to keep on making it worse and worse and worse. So then how much more then should we seek God? How much more should we become more like Jesus and read more and just love Him more and seek Him more as the world as Satan keeps on pushing his agenda? I just like, that's kind of the relation we had. And I was like, dang, like, how much more should we just seek Him? You know?
No, that's good. That's good, because it's like, something. All right, so like that reminds me of something I heard recently, and it was talking about like, it was like a video talking about like the grind mentality and like, you know, how to, you know, work and all that stuff, and it was talking about Kobe and how like he would do 3 practices a day. And so he was saying like, he wasn't the best player when he started, but because he worked those 3 practices a day, he eventually matched everybody else and then surpassed them. Now, if those people wanted to, let's say they got inspired by Kobe, they're like, we're going to start doing 3-day practices too. or 3 practices a day too. But Kobe was doing the same thing. So they would never catch up to him.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was really interesting because I was like, whoa. And so what you just said, it's like, okay, the enemy's doing 3 practices a day. What are we doing? Are we practicing? Or do we want to lose? Like, how bad do we want to win that race that Paul talks about? How bad do we want to push the kingdom of God forward? How bad do we want to be so in love with Jesus? Because the enemy will continue to practice. The enemy wants to win. That's what you guys have to understand, is the enemy wants to win too.
Yeah.
Think of it, let's say that the basketball game with Kobe. The enemy wants to win the game. Are you going to train? How bad do we want it?
And even in that example, like, as we move, we pass him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't just stay in.
Oh, no.
We pass him, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
No, that's good. And so what I was going to say previously is the importance of community. And like, we stress that so much.
Please,
and we will never stop stressing it. Because
pray about it,
the reason we are so pushy about it is because we've seen the impact that it's had in our lives immensely. Our lives and our love and our relationship with Jesus completely skyrocketed when we started prioritizing the people around us. Like, who we're surrounding ourselves with. Because when the world was trying so hard to convince me, we talked about how hard high school could be, college can be, just the school life, being involved with all that stuff. It's very convincing. And if I didn't have, let's say, you in my corner, I would have fallen to temptation so much. I mean, you have countless stories of me coming up to you like, yo, I kind of want to try this. I kind of want to try this. I kind of want to do this. Like, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And you're like, no, don't do that, Danny. Please don't do that, Danny. And so we had each other's back in that sense of like, whoa, snap out of it. Yeah. Whoa, you're entering a quick trance. The world has you in a trance right now. Snap out of it.
Like that, yeah.
Back to reality. Jesus, remember Jesus? And you're like, oh, shoot. You're right.
That's priceless, man.
Having those people around you to snap you out of those trances, because they happen. They happen.
Yeah.
Like, it happens to everybody.
Either through like people or just yourself. They happen. And so keeping each other accountable to snap each other out of that trance, like, hey, remember we're carrying our cross daily. It's like, oh shoot, he's right. Oh shoot, he's right. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna risk everything that I've worked and grown towards for this moment, this small moment that the world's trying to convince me by. No. And so community is huge when you're trying to live counterculturally, when you're trying to be set apart, when you're trying to be different, because we are different. If you've accepted Jesus and you have the Holy Spirit, you are different. You are not of this world anymore. You belong to God. You belong to Yahweh. He's like your Abba now. It's like, okay, so if I'm in the family of God, why am I trying to be a part of another family? Why am I letting this random family that just pulled up in this weird car telling me, let's go to Legoland's? Like, whoa, wait. Like, wait. I'm with God. God's going to take me to heaven.
I don't need Legoland. Although Legoland's pretty
cool. I mean, I haven't went, but...
So how do you know school?
It probably would be cool.
How do you know school?
Cool.
The world told you school?
Wow. Can't go to Legoland now? Is that what you're saying?
No,
right
I didn't say that. It's just that, you've never been. So if you've never been, like...
I guess.
But yeah, that community and that focus. I like the question that you asked, who's leading you? Who's your shepherd? It's like, let me focus on my shepherd. Because just like we've talked about there being an enemy on the other team, there's probably an enemy shepherd trying to lead you astray. There is. And let's not get confused on which one's our shepherd. It's like, okay, I'm going to focus on Jesus. And that's, I mean, bro, I feel like we can make a list of the things that we've stressed throughout this entire podcast.
You better have some things burnt in you. Like,
yo, for real.
When we say things, you guys be like, oh yeah, I know what that
I know. Like, they say it all the time. Yeah.
I wish you guys did. I do hope, we hope you guys say that.
Yeah.
Because we do be saying that. Like, yo, like we say this a lot.
And one of them being, fix your eyes on Jesus.
Yep.
Know who your shepherd is so that he can tell you where you're walking towards. What the world does is make you like a headless chicken running around with no direction. Because that's what boundaries keep you in a certain path, right?
Stay in your lane. Yeah.
Stay in your lane. But if there's no boundaries, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go wild. You're not gonna have direction. And so we need to know who Jesus is, and we know that by fixing our eyes on him, and then we know where he's leading us by reading the word. Okay, what are my boundaries? I'm gonna read the word. What am I supposed to do here? I'm gonna read the word.
What has he already said?
Mm-hmm.
It's in there.
Yep. It's applying God's teachings in the Bible to our life. That's what it looks like to have those boundaries. If you feel right now that maybe you don't have those boundaries, maybe you're struggling to say no to certain things and say no to the world. Like, I always feel bad giving the generic answer of read your Bible, but like, that's where the boundaries are found.
Yeah.
That is where the boundaries are found. Is, okay, I believe Jesus is my Lord and Savior. These are his teachings. This is how he wants me to live. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah. And we're not going to live a perfect life. Sometimes we're going to bump into those guardrails pretty heavily too. We're just going to ram into it. Like, ugh.
Yep.
But Jesus is always there to save us. Jesus is always there to make sure that guardrail doesn't fully come down. And yeah, it's going to hurt when you bump into that guardrail, because that's just how life works. Sometimes we fall. Sometimes we just choose sin.
Yeah.
But then there's Jesus picking us up, saying, hey, remember where you're going. You're walking backwards right now.
That's why a lot of people who have kind of passed those guardrails are just like, they're even more thankful for Jesus, right? Because what is it? What's that? I think it's a verse, like if somebody has a huge debt, right, of sin, like, and Jesus paid for that, they're going to be more thankful.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like a lot of people who have passed those guardrails in any type of way, if you went like, just down that wrong path and you've seen a lot of things, you did a lot of things, and then you meet Jesus, you just like, you're even more thankful. You're just like, God, I've seen down there, I've went down there, and it does not compare to just even knowing you and your love. And so people could be even more thankful with that,
That's beautiful.
that have done that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And something else I want to say too, because I know we're talking a lot about, like, of course the episode is counterculture, talking about just like being a part of and being a part of like Jesus, not being a part of the world, being a part of Jesus, and seeking Jesus and all that. Something we got to talk about too, which I want to talk about, is it's hard because we have to find a line with it, but not being a part of the world, but also loving our neighbor. But then that thing that Nico said last episode, which I really loved, was that a lot of Christians can be too at home in the world. And so there's like this line of, I want to, I got to be careful. Like, I'm not part of the world. I'm in it, but I'm not part of it. But I also want to love my neighbor and have that, and let my actions and my words influence non-believers. But I also can't be too at home in the world, because then I might get too comfortable and start going back to old ways, or start feeling the type of way. And it's like this 3-part kind of situation is kind of difficult. Just thinking about that.
Wow, that's good. That's tough, because it's like, I don't know, we at the same time that we want to be countercultural, we also don't want to fully like separate ourselves from the world, in the sense of like, yo, you're not Christian enough for me, like, get away,
get out of here, But then, like, something I read was, if we're too into this countercultural thing, that people will start, they'll start thinking more about what we're against instead of what we're for.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people, they have this preconceived like opinion about a lot of Christians or anybody that just follows Jesus as being super judgmental and super like, you're not Christian, get out of my face, or you're a sinner, I judge you, I'm better than you. It's like, that's not how it is. And so it's like, yes, we are not part of the world, we're in it. But also we have to love our neighbor and of course talk to people and let people be blessed by what we say and everything, while also not being too at home, which I really like what Nico said, just not being too at home in the world and thinking that, like, we get comfortable with it. It's like a 3-part thing. I don't think there's really an answer to it. I think that's just kind of how it is. Like,
yeah,
do this, but also be careful with this while also being careful with that.
Right. I mean, it'll probably all come down to, the lack of love in our hearts.
Wait.
In the sense of like, when we go to do this, when we go to love our neighbor and still not be a part of the world, it has to be done in a loving way. If it is not done in a loving way, it will come across as judgmental, as like, whoa, I don't do that. That's That's no. That's the world. I don't do that. No, it's like, hey, I don't really do that stuff. Is that tough? How would you word that? It's like, no, I don't really do that stuff. I just, cause I feel like even if you say I don't need it, it's like, it'll still come off.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, I'm just like, no, I'm not.
You're too cool.
You can be like, I'm not really interested in. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like, yeah. I guess that's a good way of just like, yo, I'm not really interested in that stuff. But thank you.
Yeah.
And then if those people continue to see how you live, trust me, they're going to be impacted by it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it on other episodes where evangelism not only is done through words, but it's the way you live. And so if the people around you are seeing that you're saying no to this stuff and you seem to have things kind of figured out in the sense of like, ooh, like this guy has some undescribable peace for no reason. This guy has some joy that I've never seen before. Like, I don't understand. Even though his life seems to be upside down right now, he seems good. Like, he seems like he has a solid foundation. I want what he has. And maybe they'll start correlating, like, is it because he doesn't partake in this? Is it because he does? And then naturally they come up to you like, hey, how do you do? Why are you like this? How do you? And then, hey, you say, I know this guy.
If you want to meet him, pull up on this one Sunday. Trust me, you'll meet him. He's awesome. He's great.
He's awesome. Yeah.
You'll bump into him.
You'll for sure bump into him. I'll introduce
probably
you to him.
People even said that. Maybe you even said it yourself. Of just like, why is that one friend like really like happy all the time? Why does he always seem like nothing's bothering him? And why is he like why do I feel like a good type of feeling and peace when I'm around him? Like, what is that? You probably even said it yourself, and you're like,
100%.
Probably Jesus.
Probably Jesus doing a work in their heart.
But I think for what I said, I think it's just, when, again, being countercultural is just like being aware of what are the things that the culture and the world and just culture and the world, what are they pushing forward to me in front of my face, and how does that compare to scripture? Right. And then it's like, second part being love your neighbor, everything like you said, do it out of love. If you're talking to somebody, lead with love, and then let truth follow. Don't because truth will be there, but if you just go with truth and be like you're a sinner, it's like there's nothing gonna happen there. So lead with love. And then for the third part of like not being too at home, I would just say just be aware, because there is that verse that says be careful when you're trying to help somebody in sin, in case you might fall in sin with them, right? So it's like just be careful when you're lifting somebody up, because it's always hard to lift them up because they might pull you down, right? So I think that's kind of how we can be wise with that, and just like loving the people that we want to love, and showing our love in our action and our speech, being an example to all believers and non-believers alike, while also being wise, and taking a step away from the world, but also trying to help people out in it,
And I think the crucial thing to understand for us to live a life of love and be set apart from the world, like loving your neighbor, but also being different from the world. Being holy, basically. What it is the understanding that the battle isn't against flesh and blood. It's like that's how you love your neighbor, is by showing them and trying to introduce to them the savior of their life. That treasure and that diamond that you found, that's what you want to share. And so it's like, okay, like you're not doing all this ungodly stuff out of your own. Like, I was once spiritually blind. I did a lot of dumb decisions. Okay, this person is spiritually blind right now. Wouldn't I have wanted to help myself during those times? Like, hey, don't do that. Hey, let's be that friend that snaps people out of trances. Let's be those followers of Jesus that are stopping thousands and thousands of people from continuously being a part of the world. I mean, how cool does that sound to be how do we want to push the kingdom of God forward? It's like, okay, let me Let me get as many people as I can out of that trance. Let's get that veil off, Jesus. Let's do this. One more. Let's do this. I mean, I'm obsessed. I saw the Hacksaw Ridge movie. Oh my gosh, bro!
Did you see it?
When did I see it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while. It was a while ago.
They like rewatched it or something.
No, I want to, bro. So good. It was such a good movie. Oh my goodness. I'll rewatch it with you. It was so good. If you guys haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's about this soldier, and he's Christian, and he joins the military, and then they're like, "Here's your gun." And he's like, "No, I don't use weapons." They're like, "What you mean? Why are you here?" And he's like, "No. I still want to be a part of the military, but I'm not going to use weapons." And so his whole thing is he becomes the medic, and he just, you guys have to watch the movie. It's incredible, but
I gotta watch it now, I guess.
But the whole thing is like he saves like hundreds of soldiers, and people are like, this guy did more without a gun than we did with a gun. Crazy. And so it's like, okay, God, how can I save as many people as I can? We want to be that medic. The world will try. Here's your gun. No. I don't need the gun. I'm trying to save people, not kill them. It's like, all right, cool. And then you're like, I can't believe I brought it up because I didn't want to spoil it. Like I realized that I might spoil it halfway through, but I was like, no, I can't. But I'm not gonna be Nico with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's like, nah, bro.
That was a good movie though.
But how are we gonna that should be our goal.
Yeah.
I mean, right, that's the whole mission that Jesus gave us before he left. It was like, yo, make disciples of all nations. What does it mean to make disciples? Is like snap them out of the trance. Telling them the good news is snapping them out of that trance. You want to stop your friend from falling to sin so much and being involved in things that you don't want him to be involved in? Introduce him to Jesus. Jesus will do the rest. Plant that seed. That's how we help. I mean, you want to make, a lot of people say, I want to make the world a better place. How do you do that? Introducing them to Jesus. That's all you got to do. You want to make the world a better place? Show them Jesus. And be Jesus. Not just show them Jesus, but be Jesus. Live your life how Jesus wants you to live. Be as close as you can to Jesus and introduce people to Jesus. That is how you change the world. That is how you have the biggest impact on this planet, is by introducing them to Jesus. Not just, I'm not going to do what the world does. Ew, yucky. No. I'm not going to do it because I love Jesus. Because I know truth. That's why I'm doing it. Not because I want to be better than you. Not because I want to put myself on a pedestal and feel like I got my life together. I mean, us Christians, we love Jesus, but a lot of us don't have our life together. I mean, we're living life as we go, And Jesus guides us. But I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. The reason I'm trying to live counterculturally is because I know truth. Because I know that's poison to me. That's why I do it. Not to be better than you. I do it because I know that that will hurt me in the long run, and I'd rather have life and not death. That's why I live counterculturally. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Can I even talk after that?
No, I don't think you should.
Honestly, I want to say something. I don't want to say anything.
Just give it like 2 seconds. Let the people intake that, and then
if you want to write that down, and then take the time.
When you feel ready, you say what you gotta say, buddy.
Because we do gotta.
Imagine the second you start speaking, everybody's like, "Boo."
I can't say anything after that. I mean, you guys write your stuff down, but all right, we good now?
Yeah, I think so. I think they got it.
All right,
I think they got it.
All right, well. We talk a lot today, right? All right, nice. Good stuff. Appreciate you, my boy. We talked about a lot today, right? And something we could do is focus so much on the little things, like a lot of different stuff. Like, I gotta also be a father, but I also have to detach, but I also have to be careful for myself and carry out my cross. And it's like a lot of things you gotta think about. And what I got reminded of is Mary and Martha. I think it's important because again, in this, there are a lot of people use this story with people that are doing a lot in ministry and are just being a lot very busy bodies and just doing a lot, but just kind of missing the point, And so even with this, when we're talking about being countercultural and also bring people to Jesus, we want to do all this stuff because we're so passionate. We have to remember what's important, right? For those who don't know the story of Mary and Martha, it's just Jesus came to, I think, Mary and Martha's house. And so Martha, back then, hospitality was really important. So Martha was preparing so much stuff, the food, probably organizing things in the kitchen, whatever it is. She was just doing a lot to prepare for everybody that's going to be in her house. And so Mary's doing that, and then Martha's just sitting at Jesus' feet, just listening to him, right? And so Mary sees that, and Martha sees that, and she goes to Jesus like, Jesus, do you not see my sister just not doing anything? Like, tell her to help me. Like, I'm busy. Like, I got work to do. Like, tell her to help me. And then let me read you the verse that Jesus says, because it's just so good. He says this: Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. And so it's just like, we talked about a lot today, and like definitely like retain this knowledge, keep it in, like understand, be aware of the culture and stuff. But like we said on the other episodes, we focus so much on detaching from certain things that we forget just to attach to Jesus and to seek and to fix our eyes on him. Right. So the most important thing we can really do is just to sit at his feet. Wow. And just, in your quiet time, just like listening to him, worshiping in your car, in your room, reading the word. Like, that is the most important thing you can do. And then after, and as you do that, God will lead you and guide you to talk to people, and he will open your eyes so you can understand the culture and how verses like, collide with that, like all that stuff. But the point is just to sit at his feet.
Dang. How can I speak after that one? That one's good.
You don't.
No, I just picture her like I got the sense of that childlike type of love for Jesus. Like, I just picture her at his feet, just admiring him, just like, wow, this guy's awesome. This guy's awesome.
He is awesome.
Let's not miss the point. Let's not miss the point.
It's all about, really, like, at the end of the day, it's just it's about Jesus, about you and Jesus. And as you know, in that relationship, like, he would just guide you, and you will, out of your own desire and heart, you just want to give it out.
Wow. That's beautiful. Oh, Jesus help us. Jesus help us.
Jesus help us.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about a boring Lewis and Danny episode.
Yo. Huh. They said forget the gas. We just want you two at this point. That was fire.
Back.
In the fire. Isn't the fire's been back? Check out the
Isn't that what you'll be waiting for?
We love you guys. We hope you guys got some awesome stuff out of this. We hope you guys were blessed and you guys got your mind renewed through this episode. Let's live our life not of the world, but of heaven.
Seeking him, being at his feet.
Being at his feet and admiring him. That's beautiful. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Check out all the links in the description, especially the Patreon. We hope to see you guys
already on there.
Yep. We hope to see you guys in the Discord and join the family. We love you, and we'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.